Once again, another incredible performance by Canelo Alvarez. Jermell Charlo just really had no answer for him. Canelo also looked to be much more revitalized this time around, giving the fans a better performance than he did in his last few fights. What I really liked seeing from him in this fight is that he was a lot lighter on his feet. Oftentimes we see Canelo with his feet planted right on the canvas, but this time he was actually real bouncy with it. It seemed to me that Jermell wanted to pull off the same tactic Bivol used to beat Canelo. Move around and control him with the jab. The difference is, while yes, Bivol did do this, he was much more creative with his jab and would stand his ground and take Canelo shots. Jermell, on the other hand, would never stand his ground and was pretty much on the back foot the entire time, giving Canelo full control of the ring. And unlike Bivol, Jermell couldn't handle the power as well, and punches even to his arm would greatly stagger him. He even tried to pull off this combo Bivol would constantly land on Canelo, the jab straight jab, but it looks like Canelo learned a thing or two from Bivol and simply stepped back away from the punch. It was pretty evident from the beginning of the fight that Jermell couldn't deal with the power of Canelo. Every time Charlo was backed against the ropes, Canelo could freely unleash his power on him, because Jermell would never make Canelo pay for anything. Instead of trying to counter these punches, Jermell would frantically look for a way out and clinch up whenever he could. Jermell would only pretty much commit to jabs, but he was always throwing his jabs the same way, and Canelo could easily counter them. Now this knockdown Canelo is about to pull off on Jermell is boxing IQ at its finest. Take a look at how wide Canelo would throw this punch. He has been constantly throwing it at this angle from the beginning of the fight, making it habitual for Jermell to block this area of his head. With a simple adjustment of the angle, Canelo makes Jermell pay. This time, instead of throwing it wide, Canelo decides to throw it down the middle. As you can see, Jermell is blocking that same part wherein the punch would have landed if Canelo threw wide, but since Canelo changed the angle, the punch landed right down the center, where his head is exposed. At this moment of the fight, it looked like Jermell has already been mentally broken. And since Canelo mentally broke him, the rest of the fight looked like this. Just Canelo pounding away at Jermell on the corner, and him clinching so he can survive. Although Jermell did have one last-ditch effort. He started really committing to his shots near the end of the fight, but he would just be throwing all of these from way too far out, and really telegraphing these punches. Canelo could see the punches form a mile away and always ended up dodging them. Once again, really telegraphing the punch and Canelo dodging it. Honestly, a very one-sided fight, and I had Canelo winning all the rounds. Now everybody is talking about him facing Benavidez next, and a showdown between them during Cinco de Mayo would be perfect.